What's up, docs and docettes? It's Saturday morning. Aren't you happy? Don't you have your bowl of cereal? Well, you should. I know one person who does. One person who's watching with a bowl of cereal is William Mitchum. I think I got that wrong. I apologize, William. William Mitchum, or Mitchell, who requested this cartoon. I do this the commentary for this. The big question, I guess, I don't know, it depends when this gets put out, but I guess the big question is, am I going to mention Big Chungus? And I would argue that I just did, so there's no need to anymore. Fuck it. I love this sequence. Let's listen to some lovely. This is when Elmer actually looked like Arthur Q. Bryan in a lot of ways. Clampett made him fat.
Yellowstone National Park, a West Bowie tweet. Oh boy, now for a wheel west.
I love how his car is getting into it with him. Boom, 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 boom. This predates, by the way, the Friday the 13th movies by a lot. Although it's definitely been said that this cartoon was the inspiration for that movie, and for not just that movie, but any movie where a character is depicted either in a campsite at all or just naked from the waist down. This is all true and completely verifiable, by the way. These are all facts. I don't know. I've never heard Clampett give any real reason why he made, because if you're not a true historian, people think that Elmer started off fat and then they made him thin, and that's understandable because that did happen with Porky. Porky was literally Porky at one point, and then and Clampett was the one who slimmed him down, actually. But I've never heard any interviews or anything with Clampett where he gave a reason why he wanted to make Elmer fat, and then decided not to again, because it was only a few cartoons that Clampett directed where Elmer was fat. I don't know. Maybe he saw Arthur Q. Bryan, because Arthur had done on camera stuff, and he just has that look. He has that cherubish, childlike, demeanor. I don't know. This is all I'm guessing about everything, because none of this. I always loved that. When I was a kid, I wished I could have just be able to take my clothes off and go to bed with one big, have all my clothes attached together, so I don't have to go through. But that's what they call novelty clothing. Like tearaway clothing, like strippers have it. So who knows? Who knows what Elmer gets up to? By the way, folks, Bugs does this kind of thing to Elmer all through the picture. Just, spoilers. I always thought as a kid that this was like what camping was. I had no idea that this was a joke. I had no idea that the idea of a mirror being on the... Yeah, I told them, Bugs. I tried to tell them. I didn't realize that it was a joke. The idea that there would be a mirror and a sink there, and or a basin with water and soap. I really wanted to camp until I actually camped, but I saw these cartoons where You know, and I love hanging out in the woods. Don't get me wrong. When I was a kid, you know, making forts and stuff. But you know, anytime where I had to actually sleep out in the woods, I was like, ha 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 ha, no, 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 no. This bear is funny. This might be the funniest bear in any cartoon. I don't know why. I especially love his voice, which you get to hear at the end here. You don't know that he can speak. It's kind of in that he speaks in that Tex Avery law of rules with cartoon characters, which is that they will do whatever they need to do in order to make the joke work. So, you know, that's why I've always felt like that's why Tom from Tom and Jerry too, really, only speak when they need to, because it's like, well, we're doing a joke where this happens, so Tom needs to speak in order for this to happen. So he does. There's very few situations where you don't want Bugs to speak, I have to say. But yeah, this and it's not just the voice of the bear either. There's like the design. There's like a really, you know, he's equally, you know, he can be ferocious, but he can also be dumb and cute. Like, this is why animation is so cool. You know, and I do mean classic animation. I don't think that they can achieve that level of the dichotomy in two different character types just in a design with CG as well as you can with just simple, you know, because that's what, you know, these characters are. They're simple, not simple, but they're lines. There's no, you know, the question of how rough or furry the fur is, you know, which all plays in, isn't answered, you know, with things like this. There's simple design choices. I don't know. Jellostone, by the way, not to be confused with Jellystone from Yogi Bear. And again, I like Yogi Bear, but he's not as funny as this bear here. And he's also, the design of Yogi Bear is not as, I would say, not as appealing as this bear. I wish I knew this bear's name. This bear has to have a name, right? Well, I guess not. He's only in this cartoon. But I'm going to let him say his line here.
How long you in for, Doc?
Yeah, and then he actually grabs the carrot from Bugs.
Me, but how long you in for, Doc?
And then he eats it. He's just drooling it everywhere. Awesome. See you next week.